Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, July the 29th of 2025. I'm Gio Benacourt, and this is a recording done by Vantage Markets. We're about 40 minutes prior to the U.S. session open. Well, what a week we are starting to have. We started the week really with that big announcement from Trump and the EU making that big deal, 750 billion of energy purchases, and then 600 billion more of investment pledge. But obviously, things are not in detail because, for example, the commitment of doing buying 750 billion of energy, that's obviously that is going to depend on private company decisions, and there's no legally binding in any decisions. So we still got to see how that will work out. There are talks, the tariff talks or trade talks going on with China right now in Sweden, and the tariffs truce is set to be extended another 90 days beyond the August 12th deadline. On Friday, August 1st, obviously that August 1st deadline for other countries is set to expire, so we'll see how that would play out. On that same particular day, we also have the NFP. So consensus has it around 110,000 new jobs, and the range could be really from 0 to 140,000. So we'll see how that will play out. Tomorrow we'll have the Fed coming out and talking about its decision about the interest rates. Most likely there won't be cut. Now, if it does if it does gives it a cut, well, that will be positive for the markets. That will, let's say, for example, that could help the indices. But let's see what will happen. Obviously, the consensus is no cut now until September. That's when things are looking to be for the next cut. But from now until then, we're seeing that the Nasdaq has made another all-time high again. So that during the session. So we want to be able to come in and measure how much of this movement can we expect it to continue. So we have a trend-based fib extension tool, and how we apply that is from a previous low to the high to the higher low. So we want to measure this move, right? And as you take a look at this move, we see here how the golden ratio of 6.18% is basically where the market made a high. 23,612 is the high, and the golden ratio is 0.618, 23,611. And so it has been rejected. So the market does come towards it, and it rejects it. So just as we see how the tool is right on the money. So can we expect the market to come in and fluctuate towards that? Well, at the open, that's what we could probably expect, since it has already been there. It's being rejected. Profit taking is what we saw, what most likely has taken place. So as when the market opens, how much more of a retracement will the asset do? Well, let's figure out. And initially, 23,560, it could be that level. Initially would have been yesterday's high, but we already have fluctuated below that. So the next level obviously will be something of psychological value of 23,560. If it does come that low, I mean, it could retrace all of it and then come back and test yesterday's swing low. That could also happen, right? But given the momentum, and given that obviously we have more companies coming out and reporting, that could boost obviously the asset higher. So let's just leave that, and then I'm gonna the second level. Let's use the Fibonacci extension of 23,640, a particular psychological value, round value, if you will. So that we hope. That's how we will identify our levels of resistance. So now support, we could come in. I'm using this first level since it's actually a previous swing high from last week, from Friday. And then the second level will be yesterday's swing low. So let's see if which basically yesterday we also used it, and the market did rebound from off of that one. So keep that in mind. You can go and check out the recording. So as far as the S&P goes, well, the S&P, it had a stronger fluctuation to the downside. It did break our first level of support, violated our second one. So therefore, initially we're gonna use that as one of our levels of support, and then come in and use 6420 psychological. This candle closed at 6423. This one opened at 6423. So we are basically opening where we close, and the fluctuation, it was to the upside. The upper Bollinger Band acted as a dynamic level of resistance. It was rejected, and the market. This could also be obviously profit taken. Just waiting on what's going to happen with the U.S. So as far as resistance, I'm going to leave this swing high, yesterday's swing high, as my second level, and then my first level of support, I'm going to actually use the upper Bollinger Band level, right around where that is. So usually we got to obviously come back and fluctuate towards today's high, and then just be able to cross the upper Bollinger Band and going to revisiting yesterday's swing high if we are into a continuation of yesterday's momentum to the upside. Then we have the Dow. So the Dow, so this one closed 45,004, and this one opened at 44,995. So it actually a tiny gap down, being closed to the upside. So I'm going to use the 20-day moving average, which is the medium of the Bollinger Bands, as my second level, and then yesterday's swing low as my first level of support. I'm going to go ahead and use actually I'm going to use the upper Bollinger Band. I could have used that particular level of psychological value, but I'm going to use 45,400 as my second one. Let's see if today the market will make another fluctuation to the upside, because it is looking mighty ranging in this daily candlestick. Then we have gold, crude oil. The crude oil had a nice jump to beat to the upside. This deal about obviously with the European Union help help crude oil catch a bid, because obviously it's at $350 and $billion of investment in energy. So Nat Gas should also see more of that movement to the upside. Today we did open with a tiny gap up. It has been closed. Momentum to the upside was short-lived, as well as then the profit taken could also have been taking place for this move to the downside. So I'm gonna leave my levels of support and resistance as they are, and see if today the market will just consolidate around the level of 67, fluctuate a bit higher, fluctuate a bit lower, but that's what seems to be the case. Nat Gas. So we have Nat Gas on our radar now. So Nat Gas is holding that $3 value. Yesterday it did peak its head below it. It had a low, well actually $3. It didn't really make that much of a, but let's see if today will be able to sustain itself, and therefore I'm going to use yesterday's swing low and then the lower Bollinger Band. I'm going to tighten up my resistance to yesterday's swing high and actually bring down the second one to about 318 flat. So let's see, looking for a momentum to the upside. Gold, well, gold swing low yesterday, rejecting that 3,300 level. It seems to be holding on to that level. So let's see if today will be the case. I'm gonna adjust my second level of support for the lower Bollinger Band. As far as our first level, well, the 50-day moving average is right there. So I'm gonna actually use today's swing high and then the 20-day moving average as my second level of resistance. Even though we have been rather, we need to obviously come back and fluctuate higher above the 50-day moving average and perhaps continue moving higher. Let's see what sort of a pressure can gold have, and see. I mean, tariff scenarios are being faded away. Geopolitical tensions. I mean, they're still there. Thailand and Cambodia apparently signed a ceasefire agreement overnight last night, making effect midnight. So that was positive. Silver, the metals, they're ranging. Basically, we are within yesterday's range. So a lot of this is low volume. I could tell right now. So I'm gonna actually update my first level of support to the 20-day moving average and leave the same levels of resistance that I have here. Looking for this movement to continue. Really, that could be the case. I could be wrong. Then we have copper. So copper, after making a nice move to the upside, looking to try to reach $6. It was shy, right about 11 cents away from it, but this could probably be just profit taking. Also pressure from dollar index being catching a bid. So let's use the 20-day moving average as my first level of support, and then just use yesterday's swing low as my second. As far as we go towards the resistance, I'm gonna look back and see. Use this swing low here from last week, prior to the obviously to the movement to the upside, and then the second one will be yesterday's swing high. That's for copper. So a recovery for copper could be on the making. This is 3 days in a row. We had 3 consecutive days and to the downside. Let's see if today will be a different day scenario and catch a bid. Bitcoin is within range. Is ranging, and this is basically creating a coffin of congestion, I call it, and horizontal trading. This is a great setup for a breakout or a breakdown, right? Due to obviously all of the scenario going around Bitcoin and all of this acceptance by the U.S. government, I'm gonna favor a breakout. So looking for 122,000. Is that the case? Then we have the euro. So the euro continues to slide. Obviously, yesterday scenario about how much investment is going to be supposedly be done by Europe to the US, where supposedly all imports from the EU will have 50% tariff, and all imports from the US to the EU will have 0 tariffs. So there will be obviously a lot of demand for the euro to change into dollars. So most likely that's why the dollar index caught a bit, and that put pressure on the currency. So let's see if 115 will be that psychological level where the euro will find support or will continue to slide. I'm gonna basically leave the same levels of resistance and looking that this will continue to slide towards the 115. And the Darwins will obviously also have a lot to say on that. Also, the pound is sliding, and we are way below our levels of support. So initially, let's just use that lower bound or band level to see if he finds a bid, if he finds some support there. Then 132.5 will be the next level. So as far as resistance, 134 being psychological round value will be my second one, and then I'm gonna just do trying to, because if I in this case it's gonna use some level of psychological 133.70 and see if we'll be able to stay where we are, or are we going to rebound off the 133. level, which is basically where the lower Bollinger Band is pointing towards. Dollar index climbing, even though it opened gap down, but it's climbing. So 99 again, and then support. I'm gonna use the 50, 98. I'm gonna use a 50, but that's too tight right there. So let's see if it reaches 99. If it does reaches 99, it'll put more pressure, obviously, on all of the assets, the currencies, and the metals. All right, stay tuned. Starting August, I'll be going live, and so we'll be going half an hour, the same half an hour prior to we'll be doing the pre-market analysis, and then going into the bell, right? And then talking about how the market works, and looking at different assets, different technical tools that we have at our disposal, and see how we can identify some trades that we coming up to us. So stay tuned. We'll send more information about that. That's starting next week. All right, that's it from me today. Have a great trading day. See you tomorrow.